Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, welcome to the first Spooktober episode of 2023.
Woo!
And I want to start out with a bang. So we are doing our first film recover also, which I never planned to do on the show, but here we are. So I am Mike Albertin, and who's running around a creepy town with me tonight?
This is Joe Butler, and no pyramid head, not my soft and supple skin.
Hey everybody, this is Kenneth Sanity, and unlike Rose De Silva, Officer Sybil would only have to ask me for the pipe once.
That was a good one.
No.
Oh, hello, it's your pal Tyrant Cheeks, aka Chelsea, back again.
And welcome back. And where can people find you, Chelsea?
You can find me on Twitch, and it's Tyrant Cheeks on Twitch and Tyrant Cheeks on Twitter, the Twitter.
It's not Twitter anymore, it's X. For the
Yeah,
moment.
what is up with that? That's weird.
Until they go out of business.
My fucking phone just updated, and I'm pissed.
Yeah, I was really shocked one morning. You'll be hearing this probably different episodes if we make jokes about Twitter, where I loaded up Twitter and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, oh yeah, you changed it to X, asshole.
Have you seen his makeshift sign and how it lights up and flashes like all night, and there's like an apartment complex across the street and people are already complaining?
Not surprised.
I saw the picture where it looks like they just took office supplies or something, like just metal they found and just put it up and built us. Like, if you're going to rebrand a company, you think you would order stuff and have it all planned and have not just like wake up one day and go, we're going to rename this company I bought that I overpaid for. Like, that's not how that works.
And not only that, to take the X from a font package, not even have one designed?
You can't copyright?
Oh my god.
We're gonna be in the Silent Hill 2 episode and be going, I can't believe they had to rechange it back to Twitter.
I hope so.
Just
Oh, I hate
please,
it.
God.
I hate Twitter in general right now so much. But yeah, you can find Chelsea there. And I'm still there, Ashley, too. A game my mom found. I'm still on Twitter, even though I don't post much, and Twitter sometimes won't even let me post. So, who knows?
I'm still there too. Why not?
I'll be there until it falls apart, which I think is coming.
Yeah.
So we are here to do something that I never expected to do, a recover of a film that we covered on the show. And we're going back to cover the first film we ever did on this podcast, which is Silent Hill, came out in 2006. We recorded it in 2019. It was one of the really early episodes of Games My Mom Found, completely different cast. And I had no desire to go back to this, but because I'm a sucker, when people say, hey, let's do this, I go, okay. So here we are.
And look, Internet, you're super welcome. We essentially bullied Mike into this because there's so much to say about this movie.
I have two funny things to start with. One, last night when I was either going to rent this movie or buy this movie. It was 24 cents to rent it because I had a credit, or $9 to buy it. And I yelled at my wife, I'm like, should I buy it? She's like, are you ever going to watch it again for the show? And I said, no, I am never going to watch this movie again. I rented it. Because
That's
if I had a nickel for every time people made me watch this movie in this podcast, I'd have 2 nickels, and I can't believe I let it happen twice.
God, that's going to be a fucking shirt, too, with the 2 guns, isn't it? God damn it.
Uh-huh, it is. Hey, I don't have any. I wasn't going to make that joke. Now I'm tempted, but no. They weren't 2 guns, so. But no, that's just something I think of. Like, I had never. And I remember thinking fondly of this movie, even though you can go back and listen to my old episode and see what I really thought about this film in 2019. I have no idea. I don't remember, nor do I care enough to go back and listen to what I said, because I'm sure it wasn't good. I don't want to hear myself in 2019 versus now. So, but yeah, and also, like, coming into this movie, like, I have now played Silent Hill 1 through 4. Like, I have all that under my belt. I have more understanding of Silent Hill. And then going back to this movie after you have experienced more Silent Hill, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Some part you appreciate things, and some part you get very irritated with it.
Yeah, this movie's a fucking punch in the dick if you played the games recently.
Yes.
It's also a huge punch in the dick if you play the games, then watch this, and then go play Homecoming, because there are several things ripped out of this movie for Homecoming.
Yeah.
Interesting fact, Mike, I don't think, have you played it yet?
I haven't played Homecoming yet. No, it's one of the ones I'm missing still on my list.
Very minor spoiler, but there actually is an enemy type where you fight cult members, and they're wearing the exact same suits in this movie from the movie.
Yeah,
like the minor suits?
The minor
Yeah.
outfit.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay. I am interested in Homecoming. I just haven't gotten around to it because I'm playing the rest of them.
I can't wait to cover that.
This
Still got a bit.
This is one of my probably top 3 favorite video game movies.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the competition isn't really,
Well,
like, what else are you going to say? Double Dragon?
Pokemon. Detective Pikachu.
Oh, yeah, that was a movie. That was pretty damn good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
But this was 06. I mean, so at that time, I mean, this was considered one of the, I feel like one of the best video game movies at the time.
Oh, at the time, absolutely. I saw this in theaters.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad I didn't.
I rented this on Blockbuster, and it got my cousin really into the series, and I'm glad that's what helped. Funny enough, while watching this movie, I took a picture to send her to show I was watching it, and at the exact same time I took a picture, she texted me, "Hey, what's the creature that follows Cheryl around in Silent Hill 3?" And I remembered what it was. It's like Valtiel or something. And then I sent her a picture of the screen, and she's just like, "Oh, that's weird." I'm like, yeah, it really is.
Oh, good stuff.
Siblings kind of do the mind.
This is just one strange ass movie. Like, it feels like it's trying to be the first Silent Hill, but then it goes in such weird directions.
Man, weird directions.
Like that opening scene is also just disturbing, where the girl runs off, and like I also don't understand why they changed her name to Sharon instead of just calling her Cheryl, like in the first game that you're mimicking.
It's the French.
Okay. Like,
I mean, yeah, kinda. Like, I feel like we should talk about the director first.
sure. No, I don't know anything about him, but
Like,
what do you think?
Christoph Gans is an interesting director. He's done a lot of really interesting things. Probably, I'd say his biggest, best movie, at least to people I talk to, is Brotherhood of the Wolf from 2001. That's a pretty great movie about some people coming to the New World. Oh, wait, no. To France to hunt a supposed werewolf. It's a very real legend. They made a movie out of it. It starred Mark Dacascos from the Double Dragon movie and also from Iron Chef. It was a really sumptuous, beautiful looking movie, and he basically used that to springboard into getting Silent Hill.
They also have the Bloodborne hats on the cover.
Yes, it came out substantially before Bloodborne.
I know. But that's what it reminds me of.
But he's done some really interesting movies, and by that I mean he's done 5.
Mm-hmm. And he's doing
Some
Return
short
to Silent
films.
Hill at some point.
Yeah, Return to Silent Hill has been currently announced. Supposedly that's going to be based on Silent Hill 2. So my question is, fucking how?
It's okay. The real question is that it's not coming out anytime soon because of the writer's strike.
And the actor strike.
And the director's strike's coming the next week.
Hey, if any studios are listening, pay your damn writers.
Hey, your goddamn writers and your actors and your animation studios.
Yeah. Just,
Hey, look
pay
at
the
the bright
people that
side.
do work for you that allow you millions of dollars.
You can listen to a podcast about old movies instead.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sure so many do listen to us.
with because this also was this kind of like a kickoff to restart, like, or was it the second movie where they're like, we're bringing a bunch of Silent Hill stuff back? Because I want to say it was this, and then Homecoming, and then like for like a year and a half we got like the HD remakes, and then we got Downpour, and we got like something else.
Yeah, like this was right around the time of a Silent Hill like Renaissance type thing.
Origins. We also got Origins, and I think it was this Origins
That's a good
and Shattered Memories.
Yeah, like they all came out right around the same time because Konami woke from their slumber and was like, "Oh wait, we're a studio. We should do something."
Yeah, they don't remember that anymore. Well, actually, they remember it now. It took them a while.
Okay.
There's stuff coming in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay. Anyway, this was also written by Roger Avery. Now, Roger Avery worked on a little movie in 1994 with the director called Pulp Fiction. He also directed a movie called Killing Zoe, which is actually pretty good. But Roger Avery wrote a lot of interesting movies. He wrote The Rules of Attraction, which is based on Bret Easton Ellis's book. That movie is absolutely fucked, not in a good way. And he wrote this. He wrote Beowulf, that CG animated movie with Neil Gaiman.
That movie was bad.
And then in 2008, he was arrested under suspicion of manslaughter.
Jesus Christ.
It was vehicular-based homicide.
Does that mean he accidentally hit someone with a car?
There was under suspicion of manslaughter and possible DUI. He was charged with and pleaded not guilty to gross vehicular manslaughter and 2 felony counts of causing bodily injury while intoxicated. He did a year in work furlough and 5 years of probation. He is back out now and doing a podcast with Quentin Tarantino.
Don't drink and drive, kids.
Don't drink and drive. Just drink and sit at home and listen to games my mom found.
Yes.
I'll take it.
Why not?
Or drink while you record games my mom found, but I didn't grab any beer. Also, this is one of the movies where you have Sean Bean as a character that I didn't know who his name was as a character until like midway through this movie when they finally called him by his name and it clicked.
You know,
I had subtitles on.
I did too. Either I wasn't paying enough attention or I just didn't know what his name was or I just didn't care enough.
Look, man, Harry. That's 2 syllables. Christopher.
Also, I couldn't get over like ever. Well, now I sometimes pay attention to movies like their house. Like, God, is that a fucking expensive house?
Yeah.
There. One thing I watched this movie with my partner in the back while we were watching the TV, and one thing that we talk about numerous times in this movie is that they are white people rich because they have a big house and they adopt a child and they each have their own car and cell phones.
And they run from a cop and don't get shot. That is definition.
There's just some strange stuff. Like, I also got to give credit, whoever that actress was that plays Alessa and Sharon, she does a good job.
Oh, you mean Jodelle Ferland?
Yes. She's a good child actor. Was she a child actor at this time even?
Yeah.
I'm assuming. She does a good job.
She was a child actor. She also was in a lot of other movies, like Cabin in the Woods.
Who is she in Cabin in the Woods?
She's the little zombie girl.
Oh.
Patience
Well,
Bucket.
like, there aren't any kids really in that except for that one. So
I would imagine. I thought you were going to say she was a main character because there's a bit of time in this movie. So
yeah, no, she's done a lot of stuff, mostly horror, sci-fi type things.
yeah, she did a few movies even before Silent Hill. So yeah, no, she does such a good job. Like, there's one part when she's on fire, and it's like, that's some good acting for a child actor.
Oh yeah,
I know it's not literally on fire, but still, like, she does a good job.
Like, and she played 3 parts in this movie.
I'm still upset
because she had to be Sharon, she had to be Alessa, and then she had to be Dark Alessa, who is completely different and terrifying.
And may not even be Alyssa at all.
Right. Maybe some demon wearing the form of Alessa.
That's how I took it this time. I took it that's a demon.
There's a lot of mix-up fuckery in this movie, and I do hold this movie very close to my heart, but it also really gives a lot of people Mandela effect, because you think whenever you're replaying the games, you think you're thinking of the game, but you're remembering the movie, or you're watching the movie and you think of something, but you remember no, that's actually from the game. So it's pretty bad.
Agreed.
Well, just like there's a lot of connection. Like when she first gets to Silent Hill, I mean, that's a straight up connection from the games. Like the whole way she gets to the car accident, you know, the fact that it's snowing, except it's ash.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many connections to Silent Hill 1. I don't understand why they didn't just do a straight adaptation of 1.
I'm fine with them. There's enough changed in this movie to where you can go like, oh, the movie's really good. I should go play the first game, and you won't know what's happening in the first game along with, because so you can basically play them together and have 2 different experiences as to just being like, oh, I watched the movie. Now to play the game, oh, I know who the twist is and the villain is and everything.
Ooh, I don't want to talk about that yet, but we're going to get there.
Yeah, we'll get there because
I'm fucking heated.
There are some issues I have with this movie, and there's also some weird like there's some things they try to fix that don't make sense, and then there's other things that I kind of do like more about this than in the game. But one of the things I think is perfectly fine is them changing Harry to a woman. It's fine.
I don't like.
Okay, I don't like the reasons.
I don't like the reasons either. And if I think what I think you're thinking, it's exactly why.
Oh, I don't know the reasons. I'm just going to, before you, depending on whatever you are going to drop on me, I don't know any of the reasons. I just like the woman as the main character. So
I brought this up either during the Silent Hill episode or afterwards when we were talking about covering the movie. that Christoph Gans made the decision to change it from a man to a woman because looking for your daughter is more feminine.
Oh, I remember you said that.
So is he not a parent? Because I've lost my son before, and I was looking for my son, and I go, "Oh, that's a woman's job," and just leave him. Like, no, I wouldn't go find him. Like,
yeah, well, that's how they do it in France, I guess.
I feel like sometimes people are up their own ass because I feel like that's a reasoning, but there's like a whole other decent reason as to why it's a woman, and it might be a thing where someone else wrote that in the movie because it made more sense. But we'll get to that once we get to the end of the movie.
I mean, I'm fine just because one, she's a good actress. She does a good job in this, and I guess I don't know how to say it. Like, I like seeing a female main character versus a male main character, I guess, in this. So
yeah, I will say that is good. The whole reason that Sean Bean and Kim Coates' character, the sheriff, are in there was because the studio said, "Wait a minute, there's no dudes. Add more dudes."
You don't need.
I'm not kidding.
I believe it. You don't need Sean Bean in this movie.
You do, because you don't have Silent Hill Revelation without him.
Oh, I haven't seen Revelation, so.
God, I can't. I really can't wait for us to cover that movie. I also want to know what part Mike's wife left during this movie because I really
beginning. She saw this actually she saw this in 2019. If I remember correctly, I did not check this. I am 95% positive she was on that episode when we covered that movie back with the original cast, and she just was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I don't need to watch it again. I'm going to watch RuPaul in bed." So that's what she went and did. So, she just had no interest. I kind of think she even sat down with me at first. She sat down at first, started to watch the movie with me, and then she had me get her tablet set up. Once her tablet set up, she's like, "Fuck this, I'm done." And she likes horror movies. Like, she's a big fan of horror movies. She's like, "Nah, I don't want to see this crap again."
Tiff, if you're listening, I'm disappointed.
She won't be listening. I can guarantee.
Ken, do you own this movie?
I do.
Oh.
I can believe that.
What about you, Chelsea?
I'm pretty sure I do. I'd have to dig out my DVDs, but I'm pretty sure I still have it.
How'd you watch this time? Did you run it on YouTube or something?
I didn't get a chance. I really wanted to rewatch it before this so I can be fresh for it. But again, it's not like I haven't seen it a million times, but I ran out of time. I didn't have a chance to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't miss anything. It's okay. But you're also more into horror movies than I am.
Yeah.
I don't like horror movies.
I love horror movies.
But here we are, Spooktober. So, every year I go through this, I suffer. So
You're suffering for art, though.
Yes. I just can't get into horror. I've just never been a fan of horror movies. So I watch them. I mean, I'm trying to check them off my list just because I feel like I should watch certain horror movies and I should watch certain movies just because. Doesn't mean I'm going to enjoy them, but I watch them. I won't go see them in theaters, though. My wife tried to get me to go see The Nun when that was out in theaters. We were up in Duluth, Minnesota. And I was like, nah, I'm good.
You didn't miss anything.
No, I didn't think so. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to a theater in a freaking town that I'm already not that comfortable with in the middle of I'm good. Right across from a haunted boat was a theater. So.
Oh, hell yeah.
I wanted to go in the haunted boat, but the boat was closed. You had to come during certain times.
Nah, it's okay. We kind of stopped watching horror movies in theaters just because people tend to get either annoying or the seats are uncomfortable. We saw Scream 5 in theaters when it came out, but the seats were really, really uncomfortable. That was an okay time, but I very specifically seeing, I think it was Oculus.
Ooh, that's a freaky movie.
And there were 5 teenagers behind us who would not shut the fuck up for the last hour of the movie. And I had to keep my husband from turning around and screaming at them because they were being really annoying.
I've seen Oculus once. For a guy who doesn't like horror movies, my wife and the girl I dated before both loved horror movies, so I don't know. But I did see that movie, unfortunately, and I don't want to watch it ever again.
It's so good.
But this, I don't know, if Silent Hill 1 was, this movie's just kind of there's a couple things that threw me off. I kind of understand a little bit more of what's happening now because I've seen this movie once before and I played more of the games. I had a better understanding of how she enters. When she goes to Silent Hill, she enters another dimension, essentially. And all these people are trapped that she runs into in a different dimension than the real world. They're not just trapped in the town. And the fact that there's the Silent Hill world they're in, then there's the darkness of the same world they're in that comes, and then there's the real world. It's just a very strange thing to me. Normally, I always feel in Silent Hill games, they just go to Silent Hill and the whole town is just fucked up.
I have a theory about that.
Is it about bunnies?
No.
Is it witches? But witches are good and loving and I'll be over here?
Do not quote the Joss Whedon to me. I was there when it first aired.
Buffy. It's a Buffy joke.
I've never
But
seen
I couldn't remember
Buffy.
the actual all the words. So yes, what were you gonna say?
Anyway, my theory is that yes, it is another dimension, but there is one person in the town who straddles dimension. And I use that word very intentionally because this movie is horny.
I didn't really get that.
Really?
No.
The nurses,
That's
No.
normal, typical Silent Hill horny, though.
no, like that's specific horny. That's James Sunderland horny.
That's why it
Pure
bothers me if they're
Detect
in here because they shouldn't
Is
be. But
James Sunderland horny? None of those should be here.
So
Ooh. Mm.
I think I have the reason as to why they did that, and I understand it completely. This is the same thing as every other video game movie ever. The main thing that I can think of that backs up this movie is the horrible cliffhanger ending for the Super Mario Brothers movie. Not the new one, the live action one. And it's one thing where when you make a movie, you throw all your eggs in the one basket. So of course you're going to have a movie that's got. I mean, you have the children, which I'm surprised aren't in this movie more. I feel like they had a really missed opportunity to put those things in this movie more, and I don't know why. Then you have the straitjacket monster, which probably is my favorite normal Silent Hill monster. You have an original monster that we'll probably get into later, and then you have what I refer to as Metal Pyramid Head.
Mm.
And I'm fine with him being in the movie because he is very much not James's Pyramid Head. He has a different sword and he has a different helmet, which technically does make him different from James's Pyramid Head.
Okay, very technically, but the whole thing about Pyramid Head is that he is a physical manifestation of James's guilt. I'm not going to go into why James feels guilty. We'll cover that later. But it's very much a James thing. And the fact that every other movie, game, media, anything throws Pyramid Head in there. I'm sorry, Red Pyramid. Is that the official name? Is that what we're going with now?
I don't fucking know.
But
it can be whatever you want it to be.
just the fact that they all throw Pyramid Head in there, I think continues to dilute Silent Hill 2 and the very pointed imagery and message from that game.
I'm fine with it being in the movies, only because when you make a movie, you have to throw things in there. It's like the same concept of, we watched the second Resident Evil movie. You cannot have Nemesis in that movie, and it'll still be the same fucking movie.
Fan service.
Yeah, it's just fan service. That's all you gotta think of it. Do they deserve to be in the other games? Fuck no. And I hate that the fact that the other games put Pyramid Head in them, and I believe that that's actually a complete disservice, specifically because the games, to an extent, are supposed to all take place in the same universe.
What games have Pyramid Head in it besides
Homecoming
has it in it for like 2 scenes for no reason, and then it's also an ending that sucks.
Okay, I haven't played Homecoming, and I don't really want to.
And Pyramid Head is in Downcoming, where he cuts the birthday cake at the end during the joke ending. I don't fucking know why he's in
You mean
it.
Downpour?
It does say Downcoming, same fucking thing.
Downcoming.
That's a completely different thing. But no, like this, there's a lot of sexual imagery in this movie.
Pyramid Head got butt cheeks.
Yeah,
Butt
Pyramid Head.
cheeks.
Yeah. Let's talk to a resident cheeks expert here.
10
Chelsea.
out of 10.
10 out of 10?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice, but then again, I was also looking at my phone during parts of
His
the movie.
whole bare ass is out.
Didn't notice it. That's funny though.
All right, so that's going to be the stamp for this podcast. Tyrant Cheeks approves. 10 out of 10.
That's funny though. They just have just a naked ass just in there. Like, okay.
May not be
10
Tyrant,
would
but
slap
still
cheeks
cheeks.
again.
You are making me think now more about this movie. Like, yeah, you're right. This is kind of a horny horror movie because there are things that happen in this movie later on that I don't want to go yet. But yeah, I kind of fit with that.
Yeah. So, like, okay, if you don't know anything about Silent Hill, this movie will have you scratching your head a little bit. If you know something about Silent Hill, this movie will have you scratching your head a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's meant to be. I feel like, well, this movie, in my opinion, is highly directed to people that don't know what Silent Hill is. If they were just taking the name, we'll make a movie. I mean, this is also when video game movies are known for being terrible. I mean, I think they still are known for being terrible, but we're starting to get away from that curse. But like, that's kind of what it was going for. It was meant, it wasn't meant to be this like, we're gonna take a franchise, we're gonna take something known, and we're just gonna do our own thing with it. That's how I take it, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but like. Okay, we should probably do a plot rundown, like a real quick one.
So we start the movie off with the one thing where you shouldn't do, where you should, if you know you have a child who sleepwalks, you should have at least 3 fucking locks on every door in your house.
It's not hard to have locks that a kid couldn't open if you're in a situation like that.
They're rich.
They're not rich. What are you
They're
rich?
rich.
Oh, I know. Like, even with me, my son, when he was little, I mean, he was old enough to open doors and everything, but he was autistic, and we were always worried he was going to run out the door, so we had, locks on the door. They couldn't open it.
Yeah.
Also have keys. Then again, if you really want to play that by ear too, she is also a supernatural child, so I wouldn't imagine if it's like, goddamn, that's the 5 locks that require keys, and she just somehow manages to get these goddamn things open.
Yeah, but the fact they're like, oh, she sleepwalks. I mean, and you live not that far away from a fucking cliff. Like, maybe you should, build your $1 million mansion somewhere else. Like,
yeah, but the view, Mike, the view.
Because it doesn't look like she had to walk that far from the point where she gets out of her house and ends up at this pit.
Well,
like, it doesn't look like it was that far away.
Like, crossing the highway while you're sleepwalking, that's pretty fucking baller. Like, respect. Massive.
I mean, I think it's funny how Rose goes underneath it, and Sean Bean's character has to go over where the cars are.
Yeah,
it's like there's obviously a tunnel. Just go through the fucking tunnel, buddy. Like,
well, he's the man, so the man has to deal directly with danger.
There's also a cross across from the pit, and the pit is still on fire for some reason. Ooh.
And I guess in the background of that tunnel she runs through, the name Cheryl is spray painted on the wall.
Yeah,
I guess that's what YouTube told me.
No, it is.
I don't know that kind of, yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
But when I was watching this, I started watching this like right after we got done with our Silent Hill episode. And the quote that I remember texting the group chat was, "What the fuck? I came here for spooky ookums, and instead I get a mother's love."
Okay.
And like that's how this movie starts. Like, that's the only reason that they're going to Silent Hill. It's not a vacation like Cheryl and Harry did. It's not, something's drawing me there. I have to go. My wife sent me a letter and said I had to meet her. It's my daughter screamed it while she was sleepwalking, so we're going to go.
Also, weird point that my husband pointed out. The Silent Hill in this movie is in West Virginia. Take me home. And the original Silent Hill game takes place in Maine.
Yeah, close enough.
Well, it's because they based the town off. They based Silent Hill off a town in West Virginia that actually does still have coal burning underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah, Centralia.
Movie can't get shit
right. No, we can't. But to be fair, West Virginia is fucking weird. No
Never
offense
been there, but I can
to
believe
any
it.
West Virginian listeners. I'm sure your state is lovely, but the people that I've met there are weird.
I can believe that 100%.
So they go take a road trip to Silent Hill. Police officer pulls her over. Oh, it's Sybil. Hey, Laurie Holden looking good as hell with the short hair.
I love Sybil in this movie. I love the actress that plays Sybil in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Rewatching this movie for like the 12th time, Sybil's an awful fucking cop in this movie.
Oh yeah, straight up for him.
Like how she just like at the gas station, like, these are suspicious. So we're gonna go pull them over later.
To her knowledge, she is getting off her bike and there is a child screaming. And I don't remember exactly what she's screaming that it wasn't her. So it sounds weird. And then you walk over, but that's also bad police work too, to go, this
Kids
child
scream a lot.
Yeah, but also, this child's hair is brown and the mother's is blonde. They could possibly not be related. But I do think that it is established that Sean Bean is a douche in this movie, just a little bit, because he cuts off the cards. So I I do think that he does report the van as stolen as well.
Okay, that could make
plausible.
sense, but there's no line in the movie saying something of that nature.
She writes down their when they're driving away, she's writing down their
license plate number.
License plate number, yeah. And that's the only reason why I could think of is why she pulls him over.
Yeah, and, movies don't need to explain everything. They don't. But that's a little throwaway line like, hey, I see that van into the radio. Done. Look at how easy I fixed that, guys.
Yeah, no, you are right. No, she looks good in this movie. I've only really seen her in Walking Dead season 1. I don't remember. I think does she make it to season 2 or 3?
According to Wikipedia, she's in like 33 episodes, 1 through 3, and then showed up again in 10 and 11.
What character is that?
Andrea Harrison.
She dies then.
Yeah.
Like everybody else in that damn show.
Yeah. But she's got a pretty big history of roles. Most recently, she was Crimson Countess on The Boys.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Never watched that. Yeah. I mean, I watched a couple episodes and I could not do it.
It was great.
I'm not a big fan.
And this was a good role for her. Like, she really got to stretch in this role. Rhoda Mitchell plays Rose De Silva. I would like to also point out that De Silva, none of, like, Rhoda Mitchell, Sean Bean, they don't look terribly Spanish or Mediterranean at all.
Are they supposed to be?
With a name like De Silva, you'd expect it.
Good point. I didn't even click or even make me think anything. I was like, okay, cool.
You know who Sean Bean looks like? He looks like a guy that could have the last name of, I don't know, Mason.
We can't be too close to the first movie. Remember, video game movies are cursed at this time.
Only when you make them cursed.
It wasn't you Bull's fault for making bad movies. It was this bad context that he had to work with. I mean, come on now.
You know what? Don't even get me started on Uwe Boll because I will defend him until I die.
Have you seen House of the Dead and Alone?
Yeah, I've drank with him, Mike.
Oh, yeah. We had this conversation before.
We've hung out. I watched Postal with him.
I can't really say much. I haven't seen those movies in a very long time, and I was only had them on for one reason. So
straight up, the House of the Dead was not great. Even he says so.
Didn't watch that. I had it on DVD at one time, but it's gone now. I throw this crap away.
So Officer Sybil chases them. They end up in Silent Hill. Sharon goes missing.
Sharon.
It's weird. I almost said Cheryl.
It really should just be. I don't know why they changed it.
The French.
Yeah. Fucking French.
Oh, we also have my favorite thing in this movie where this movie does take place in 2006. I very much specifically listen to them talk about time and stuff, and I'm going to be annoyed about it later on in this movie. But my favorite part is where she goes back into her car and grabs her Nokia phone and puts it on her neck strap around her neck.
Oh.
I have that phone. I don't use it anymore, obviously, but I do still have it.
Hey, I can tell you for a fact, people still use phones that aren't smartphones. I unfortunately know this for a fact because of my job. So can't say that.
Look, there's nothing wrong with not using a smartphone. There's everything wrong with that Nokia, though. That was good for bludgeoning somebody to death, and that's about it. The cell calls were not great out of those things.
Not in this movie either. She can't get any signal.
Well, that's because of Silent Hill, not because of AT&T.
I know.
Network.
She's in a different dimension. But my guess is there probably weren't any antennas around there anyway, because you're in a town that's abandoned.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I've driven up northern Wisconsin, kind of. I've been in northern Minnesota. There ain't much of a signal out there. And I've been in New Mexico, the middle, driving towards Roswell, and there was nothing.
Back then, we had roaming. Roaming.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Roaming.
Oh,
you want to pay $10 for this call? Click 1 for yes.
I used to be in roaming when I went into my living room. That's how crappy my network was.
That sounds like ass.
Thanks, Singular.
Oh, that's a throwback.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't that little orange thing in their commercials?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a weird, I don't know.
I had Sprint back then.
Show off. So I think once they get to Silent Hill, the movie at least looks really good.
The scene of Rose chasing Sharon through like the town and it doing a shot for shot of like the cameras like doing different angles is just really great.
Yeah.
Like cinematography.
That was really cool. I will give it that. Nobody looked in a doghouse for anything. So,
I mean, I like how they do reenact like the opening of Silent Hill 1, where she ends up kind of like starting to travel to the dark world and gets chased by the Grey Children.
Yeah.
I did like that.
Also, the guy on the fence is alive. That was pretty weird.
That is one of the singular creepiest images out of this film. Just that staring eye.
And that was one of the miners, right? The guys that wear the mining suits?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it was, for better or worse, the transition between regular Silent Hill and the Dark World was pretty cool. So cool that the game started using it as well.
Yeah, that's very much...
That's true.
It's very much featured in the Homecoming game.
So, let me get this straight. They made a video game movie that was based on a video game, but then they made a video game that had stuff from the video game movie that was based on a video game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that
talk
just
about
sounds
Street Fighter
like...
the movie, the game based on the series Street Fighter the game. It also is a game based on the movie that's based on the game.
I fucking love Street Fighter the movie, the game.
They got the guy that plays Shinnok in the Mortal Kombat movie to play Shinnok in the Mortal Kombat game. So
That's pretty great.
Fair. Yeah, no, okay. You guys are getting me more curious about Homecoming. I don't really want to play it, but you're getting me more curious.
Now you're gonna play it.
I will, I agree. But
You're going to play it and you're going to like it.
I don't know about that part, but I will play it and beat it. I can tell you that much.
I'll tell you right now, I've never played it either, Mike. So this is gonna be a first time for me and you, bud.
Well, it's not on this year because we're doing Shatter Memories this year.
Ooh.
Because I'd rather play that, and so that was able to keep me busy.
Chelsea, have you played Homecoming?
Yes.
Like what? 1 to 5. What's your score?
I actually really like it.
Yeah, it's a solid 3.
I like it better than Downpour.
That's also
Look.
fair.
Downcoming is a great game.
Downcoming.
Is it because it has corn?
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Okay. So what? It also has a score by Daniel Licht from Dexter.
The score in this movie wasn't bad either.
No,
Didn't they use stuff from the game in this
Yes,
movie?
they
Or-
did.
Okay, I was like, some of the stuff sounded familiar. I was like, okay, like this is
And
All of it, with the exception of the Johnny Cash song, was from the game.
that Johnny Cash song worked though.
Oh yeah.
That worked. Is that when she first wakes up in wherever the diner, wherever the hell she's at?
Yep.
Was it Ring of Fire, right?
Yeah.
It worked. I was like, okay, that's good. That's good, guys. Ring of Fire. I'm like, yep. Terrible singing. But yeah, on my part. But no, that was like, okay, this I approved of. I like when movies have music in that just fits right, and that fit right. You don't always know it right away. If you don't know what the hell she's getting herself into, but I'm like, this works.
Yeah.
New Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
I need to remedy that, but
It's going to be on Peacock beginning of next month.
I don't have Peacock, unfortunately. I have everything else. It feels like not Peacock. Nor do I want another streaming series.
There. That's why I don't have Paramount Plus.
I have Paramount.
I have almost everything else, but not
Because my wife lied to me and said we're gonna watch Star Trek, and then she found RuPaul, and then everyone Star Trek. It's a whole other thing. But okay, I mean the music was good. I enjoyed hearing, the Silent Hill stuff and like it's just but God, like that whole scene to go back to what I was saying before, like where she's being chased by the Grey Children, it's a bit like you're right, the guy that's missing half his body is still alive. Like all of that was just freaky as hell. It was good.
So this begs the question, God, was this actually scary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
What do you think?
No.
yeah. Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you. Because I remember seeing this when it opened in 2006. I was the tender age of old enough to drink. And
So you're in Wisconsin, so 16, right?
yeah,
That's about accurate for Wisconsin, right?
try a decade later, but whatever. I remember watching this and being like, man, I wish that was scarier. There are creepy things in here, but I don't think it's scary. I think it could have been scary, but it wasn't. But that's my opinion. Mileage may vary, probably will. I've seen so many horror movies by now that it takes something special to scare me.
To be fair, when this came out, I was like, well,
Oh, Jesus fuck.
so it spooked me.
I mean, it kind of spooked me a bit last night, and I'm 34, so. I don't like horror movies.
Yeah, but you don't like
It
horror
didn't
movies,
scare me.
though.
It didn't make me like. But okay, when I was trying to eat wings because I had Domino's wings, I didn't want to eat while this movie was on. I'm like, nope, I can't eat right now. I'm just gonna wait till later because this movie is like it was bothering me enough for that.
I think that was the Domino's wings.
Hey, the Domino wings are good, man. So was the Domino's pizza I ordered, but the fucking like. I was eating near the end when you got to the barbed wire part, and I'm like, we're gonna put this food down right now, and I know it's coming, so we're done.
okay,
like, no
that's
eating
fair.
right now. No eating.
That's fair. That's fair.
But also earlier, like even when the people got eaten by the bugs, when the movie thought it was the Mummy, I had to put down my food there too.
You mean 1999 cinematic masterpiece, The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser?
Hey, isn't that what you thought of too when they got eaten by the bugs?
Yes.
Okay, because that's what goes to my mind every time.
No, my favorite part is I was watching the movie with my partner, and it's the part where Rose gets swarmed by the children, and my husband's like, I would kick the shit out of those children, and I go, yeah, I'd probably kick the shit out of them too, and he goes, those look like monsters to you, and I told him to shut the fuck up.
I mean, they're creepy. I mean, I know they're a reference of what's in the first game. I I mean, they just don't have knives. What's the first game had knives?
Oh,
Did they have?
I thought they had knives. I mean, if you listen
I think
to
they
our the old ass episode 2 of this podcast, which I don't recommend, we called them knife babies for a whole
they
bit.
did have knives in the game.
Okay, which I had forgotten about that joke, but Tiff reminded me last night. She was still around for the grade children. She didn't get up and walk away yet.
Oh my god!
I forgot what made her to say, "Fuck it, I'm done with this movie." But
Probably the part where we're coming up where Rose. Well, I keep trying to say Cheryl. I don't know why I keep trying to say Cheryl, but
because that's what
Rose,
it should be.
Yeah, no, it's supposed to be Harry. But Rose wakes up and she runs and decides to try to run out of town. But then we find out that her parents got mad and took away the entire half of the fucking town, and it's just cleaved perfectly.
Well, I mean, the game was too.
Yeah.
So-
Well, we see a little bit later on whenever Sybil tries arresting her. You even see where like even the mountains are like cut in half, which technically you don't get a look at mountains in this game, but it's a pretty cool detail.
Pyramid Head sword, baby. That's how it
Yeah.
works.
But we're introduced to a mysterious woman who looks like she hasn't bathed in like 3 years.
Yo, you better keep that nonsense out of your mouth. Dahlia can get it.
Well, yeah, Dahlia can get it.
She's way more attractive than she should be, and she like. Yeah, they're trying to make her look like, this is this, old woman that been here for 30 years. No, she's way hotter than that. Like, does not work.
Yeah. Okay. So Dahlia is played by Deborah Kara Unger, who I had a very complicated young crush on because she was in a movie directed by, oh God, who was that? Was it Cronenberg? Yeah. David Cronenberg's Crash. Now, you want to talk about a horny movie? That movie is horny. And for like a long time, she was just in a bunch of really interesting, weird movies.
Oh, she was in White Noise.
Yeah.
That movie terrified me, by the way, for a long time.
White Noise is a great fucking movie.
That's a creepy ass fucking movie. After that movie, I never left TVs on and never will again. Like that. Nope. Do not like that.
Is that
But, like-
Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie bothered me when I watched it.
Like she's done some great, amazing movies, and I had very complex feelings for her in several movies, starting at roughly around the age of 16. So when I saw her show up like 10 years later in this, I was like, oh no, it's still there.
It was just, I was just thinking about like when they try to make her look ugly. It's like, yeah, she don't look ugly, guys. Like, you don't look old either. Like, you didn't age her very much here. Like when you see her in the younger version of her than the older version, I'm like, there ain't that much different.
All right,
put a wig on her.
I got a couple things here. First off, Dahlia is the character that I'm convinced lives in the real world and the other dimension. Because unlike everybody else in this goddamn movie that we see, Dahlia is the only one that has aged.
I want to back that up on you on something else that bothered me in this movie, and I'm really excited to bring it up.
All right, go for it, because I bet it might be the same thing I want to scream about.
So later on in this movie, which is why I think it's weird to have you find out later in the movie that there is a 30-year gap in the movie, which I think is a weird choice. Did they ever say why that they decided to make it 30 years or anything? Because I don't even think in the game it says that they've been doing that for 30 years, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because the whole point of 1 is supposed to be that there's no real, you're not supposed to know what year it is in Harry's time. Like they very specifically like don't use anything even from modern times in the game. Like Harry doesn't make reference to anything or anything like that. But it's whenever you see, which what we're now told is Detective Gucci, when he talks about being the cop that saved Cheryl from being burned alive, why hasn't he aged in 30 years?
Oh.
And my husband brings up that he thinks that he is stuck in time, and that is his curse, is that he's never allowed to age.
And they're all kind of maybe stuck in time then.
Except for Dahlia.
Yeah.
Because Dahlia is the only one who has aged.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't catch that, but I didn't think about, like, yeah, all the cultists and everything, they're probably this... Like, the main woman you can tell is the same age, or, you know, looks kind of the same.
Yeah.
I think that's about it.
Christabella, a new character for this movie. Played, of course, by the transcendent Alice Kurg, who was so good in Star Trek First Contact as the Borg Queen, who was so good in the movie Ghost Story. Like, she's just so good. And I'm really glad she was in here to make the movie classier than it needed to be.
One part that creeped me out was like, I didn't really completely understand the part where you have the miners are trying to go after Rose in the school, and the little canary starts freaking the fuck out, which, again, I like the reference of it. You know, they're wearing mining suits, and that's what coal miners had was a canary. If the canary died, you gotta get the fuck out of there. But, like, they don't get very far when they get eaten by beetles. Like, you think they would have had enough notice to, like, okay, we gotta go. And they're like, nah, we're just gonna die here.
It's rapid onset darkness.
What's the what? The roaches, Mike, and not beetles, the roaches.
Oh, okay.
And I said it's rapid onset darkness because it gets worse because Sharon's in town now.
Oh, okay.
That's never explained. That's just my theory.
No, that would make sense. It's just that one part where, like, the siren goes off, and they have plenty of time to run the fuck to the church before the darkness comes.
Yeah. Now, can we talk about the part that made me furious?
Yes.
Sure.
Let's talk about Dahlia. Let's talk about how this movie had the balls, the gumption, the absolute temerity to make Dahlia a sympathetic fucking character?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's completely fair.
Like, they invented Christabella to essentially play the role of Dahlia.
That's true.
I have another question that we're going to have to bring up during the second movie, but we're going to ignore that. Just remember that I have that at some point.
Okay. Like, why? Dahlia was the problem. Like, one of the problems. But
Yeah, I found it weird that they tried to make, like, she didn't know what was going to happen, and she gave in to peer pressure. Like, you ain't giving to peer pressure when you're letting your child be burned alive. It's a little different there.
Yeah,
I think it's because of the whole theme of the rest of the movie, right? Is a mother's love.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but, like, if they would have played it right with Dahlia, that would have been a great conflict between Rose's mother's love and Dahlia's perversion of the mother's love. Like, that would have been a great conflict to have in this movie.
That's true.
But no, her fucking aunt burned her.
No, they're not related.
Christabella is Dahlia's sister.
Are they?
Yeah,
Huh.
Where'd you get that from?
the movie.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
Since we're on that subject, I'd actually like to back up with what Chelsea said. I actually am fine with Claudia not being the villain and being kind of like not really the sympathetic, but being like a what goes wrong, because which is probably one of my favorite parts of the movie, where Rose is leaving and she says, you know, I forgot what Dahlia says, but she says something. She says on the lines of "Mother is God in the eyes of a child," and it goes into with what I believe is the reasoning as to why part of the theory of, well, is it really a demon or is it also Alyssa's darkness, is that when Alyssa sees her mother giving up, she basically sees that her basically was essentially her God giving up on her, which thus puts her into a darkness spiral.
Fair, but I think that could have been more exaggerated if it was the mother who actually tried to kill her. Because I'll tell you what, if God tries to kill me, ooh, I'm gonna be pissed.
Me looking up at a big magnifying glass like, God damn it.
Just shaking my fist at every cloud I can and screaming at the sky. Oh, that'd be good times. Good times.
There's also a little bit of back evidence of the family being really rich too. I guess we'll go back into the kind of like the linearness of the movie. Whenever he's trying to get info on Silent Hill, he gets info from a garage mechanic, and he's like, "Tell me where Silent Hill is." And he's like, "I really don't want to." And he shakes like his money clip at him, because I, as a normal man, have a normal wallet. I don't know what man has a money clip except for the rich man.
The rich man and the person who wants to avoid being kidnapped. Because as John Mulaney said, you keep a money clip, you throw it to distract him, and then you run.
You keep a money clip with like a 20 and like a bunch of Monopoly money on it. So I think there's more in there. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
But no, the De Silva family is not quite Oprah rich, but you know, they got some cash.
Well, both of them work for a living, probably.
Probably.
Good job.
And by work, they probably don't earn the money that they get. Let's be honest.
What do you mean?
Like, you know, they probably do something that they get paid much more than they should for.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it works. You get higher up in jobs. I've
gotta love failing upwards.
Maybe he like designs houses, and he designed the really weird house that they're in. I don't fucking know.
Maybe. I don't know. But
I think you're overthinking the movie more than the movie thought.
No, I'm thinking of Heavy Rain.
Oh.
Jason.
They're really rich in that movie, and they're rich because he designs houses, which doesn't make sense, but okay.
Fair.
Architects can make a good amount of money.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it.
Like, when I was just a kitchen designer, I was a kitchen designer for 8 years. I made pretty good money, and I just designed them. Like, I didn't actually build them. So, theoretically, yeah.
All right.
I also do not like the fact that they intimate that Alessa was raped by the janitor.
Yeah, that's unnecessary.
Are we going there? Are we going to go there?
Yeah, we can go there. I mean,
Let's fucking go there. This poor girl got the shit kicked out of her entire life.
And it's all because, like, I guess, not Alyssa, I guess because Claudia had a one-night stand with some guy. They don't really explain it very well.
It was the mitochondria got her pregnant and produced this baby.
Get the fuck out of here. No,
all right, I'll go.
God, I really need to play Parasite Eve.
It was a combination joke, but yes.
Look,
midichlorians is the word I should have used.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's supposed to be she got pregnant by the devil kind of thing.
I know.
Think.
Well, they don't really go there.
Well, no,
but like basically, yeah, she just had a kid out of wedlock.
Yeah, and it's basically them saying that it's sinful for you to have a baby out of wedlock, and
that's really what it was. I thought it was more like they thought she had sex with the devil.
No, she just had sex with some dude.
Well, the kids think that she had sex with the devil because they go to a fake Christian church because obviously they believe in the god Samael and all that other stuff. But yeah, that's why they're in the scene wherever they're talking. Christabella, is like, tell us who the father is, because instead of killing the kid, they were actually going to go kill the husband for having a one night stand. But she didn't want to say who it was, so they're like, fuck it, you don't want to tell us who the dad is, then we're going to burn your kid alive because it's still a sin. Wow,
that's more fucked up than I thought they were going for.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fucked up.
I really thought it was just like kind of like with the game where it's like she's essentially a demon or a way to bring the devil to life.
Well, in the game,
isn't that what the game is?
In the game, I have a belief that it actually is what we said, and it's Claudia had a one night stand and she doesn't want to admit it, so she's like, "Oh, the baby's from God, and we should sacrifice her to bring in the devil or their god." I don't know. The Silent Hill floor is fucking weird.
You leave Walter out of this.
I love you, mom room.
That's my boy you're talking about.
You're a good mom. Living room. Oh, I love you. I love your way you cool me down with your air conditioner. Oh, and kitchen mom. Oh, you're such a great. You feed me every day.
Kitchen mom coming through with the Sunny D, baby.
Purple stuff.
Fucking. It's a good game though. So
There's also another scene which going down the line. I really like the scene where they decide to go with Sean Bean, and his name's not Christopher. I'm going to call him Sean Bean throughout the entire goddamn fucking.
I mean, that's what I called
podcast.
him throughout the entire watching of this movie last night. So
Yeah, that's fair. I do like the scene where they're going to the town and Rose is running, and he's like, they kind of clipped her running by, and he's like, "Oh, I can smell her perfume." I think that part's pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. I did like that.
I like that too. And now it makes more sense when the guy's like, "Yeah, you get out of here now. Put your mask back on. Put your mask back on." And
You're too high, buddy. You gotta get out of here.
And I mean, just thinking of 2023, or in fact, watching it now, I'm like, that's relevant. That's how it was in 2020. Put your mask back on, asshole. So I don't know. That's what I thought when I saw it. I'm like, okay, but now, I mean, I'm thinking about more like the fact that maybe he knew kind of like what you guys brought up, like he hasn't aged, so he's aware of what of what's happened. Like, yeah, she's in the other side. She's in the upside down, pretty much.
Oh God. Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the upside down.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the upside down.
Yeah, it's pretty much the upside down.
Aw. Come on. God damn it, Stranger Things. I
mean, it's a good
always
way to
want to
explain
give you
it,
more
though.
credit than you deserve.
Well, Stranger Things did it in a different way. I mean, you wouldn't have thought of the idea of the upside down. It's also like the fact that she's in like a different plane of reality too. I guess that's what the upside down is. So
Yeah, like it's the same damn thing. God, fuck.
I mean, you can't get that mad. Resident Evil 4 is just Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I mean, it's
Yeah, but at least that had. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say that at all.
okay.
I won't ask because I don't want to have to edit it out. So I won't.
Yeah.
Now time for my favorite behind the scenes thing. The actor that plays the walking figure. What is that thing called?
Oh, I have something I have to say
line
about
figures?
that. Is it just me, or it looked like it was bleeding right from like its? Yeah.
From its chest?
No, that's not what I was thinking. But
Oh. Well, anyways, the suit actor for that creature is the same one that is the horrible janitor monster in the school,
Mm-hmm.
and he is a French circus contortionist. So that's actually his legs behind him in that scene.
Yeah. I don't like contortionists, man. They give me problems.
But also the guy in the what is it called? The lying figure, or the fuck is that thing called?
I think it's lying figure.
The lying figure. They very much do confirm that suit is basically a full body condom. So that also adds to the weird Silent Hill 2 lore.
Oh, nice.
what the
Yeah.
fuck?
What the fuck? What?
I don't understand.
Understand what?
The Silent Hill 2 lore, how it connects Silent Hill 2.
Oh, because James is a psychopath and he thinks about sex 24/7.
Mhm.
That's why the nurses are sexy,
Super horny.
super horny.
Giant
Yeah,
condom.
okay.
Oh, there you go. Another point for Ken's super horny movie. Fucking condom monster.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of coming around more and more, unfortunately, on that. Like, he's not wrong.
I would love to say that that's it. That ain't it.
There's some other parts that really creep me the fuck out later in this movie. Like, just everything with like with the cultists is just fucking weird. I don't like the cultist people at all.
I
No
will
one
tell
does.
you one of the most disturbing scenes in this movie when the cultists capture my beloved Sybil and burn
Yeah.
her on a fucking ladder.
Well, let's not even get to the part before it where they beat the shit out of her with pipes.
Like, that's bad. But burning somebody alive and not turning the camera away,
Yeah, I didn't like that scene at all.
that's
Now-
hardcore.
I mean,
Now-
also, I didn't think she should burn out fire. She wasn't close enough to the fire, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But
To be fair, she's also not she's very much not burned alive. She is basically like cooked above the fire. You can obviously, very good acting. You can very much see when Sybil succumbs to like shock from her
Yeah.
being smoked out, I guess would be the term for it.
yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds right. Where you eventually would lose consciousness.
Yeah.
But, you know, cooking on an offset flame like that, the meat's going to be really tender. That's going to be fully rendered. That, you know, Sybil's
I hate
probably
that.
going to taste great.
I did not like that scene. I was like, this is just. I mean, you tie her to a fucking ladder and you just lower a ladder into a giant flame.
Yeah.
Like, this is just.
It's disturbing.
Yeah, I really don't like it. I don't like anything in the cultists. I don't like I just they bother me if they're even in this, especially now that like I have played more Silent Hill. It just they shouldn't. I don't like it.
Well, it's two things. One, they had to use a ladder because they realized the last time they used a big metal platform, they all got burnt alive, so they had to change.
Yeah, okay. Because their
Chelsea.
dumbasses, spilled the fire and then lit the curtains on fire. So
Yeah. Chelsea,
What's up?
how do you feel about Sybil being burned alive?
Yeah, I didn't like that. I wanted to fight her on the merry-go-round instead.
It's just such a disturbing scene. I know it's meant to be. Like, I know that's the point, but it really did. It bothered me. I mean, to be fair, a lot of stuff in this movie bothered me. So,
And then,
just like, in the part before when they meet this random girl Anna for absolutely no reason to be in this movie other than get murdered brutally.
yeah, that was pretty good. Look, that was a pretty baller murder, though.
Like, I mean, the thing that, like, she's been living in this world, like, and she's like, I'm going to stop here and throw rocks at you instead because you're a sinner. And then the Pyramid Head, I didn't catch this before, but essentially Alessa Gillespie is able to, like, control the Pyramid Head because she, like, points to it, it appears and then rips the skin off Anna.
Rips her clothes off.
Yeah.
Then rips her skin off.
It's a good thing the Gillespie family can summon Pyramid Head. He hasn't seen it yet. Everyone ignore me. Anyways, yeah, that was pretty cool.
No idea what you're talking about.
Good.
Okay. No idea. I'm like, what? I don't want to know.
You're going to find out.
Yeah, I'll see the other movie and play the rest of the game at some point. Just I'm very slowly going through this series.
But also, there needs to be a counter in the corner of the screen for how many times Rose gets, like, blood smacked in her face, because I want to say it happens, like, 5 fucking times in this movie.
Okay, I have a question. I was on IMDb, and I read the trivia, because the trivia is always interesting.
Okay.
And did you guys notice that Rose's clothes, like, very slowly went from neutral colors to blood red?
Yes.
That was awesome. Like, I read the trivia and I was like, bullshit. I went back and I watched it and I was like, I'll be damned. Like, they changed so many. There were, like, a ton of outfits that were all just gradually getting closer and closer to, like, gray and then turning blood red. Over about 100 different copies of that outfit were made just to get that slowly happen.
Oh, damn. Okay, that's kind of cool.
So they can do that, but also make Dahlia a sympathetic character and invent somebody who's essentially Dahlia, but give her a different name. Huh. I'm sorry. I'm really pissed off about that. I don't like it. I'm angry at it.
I get it, because it takes away, kind of takes away, because you change the game, and you change, who the villain of the series really is, in a sense.
And, like, I don't want to be one of those people who's like, oh, my childhood. Wah.
Wham, wham, wham.
But, like, that's kind of crucial to the game.
I think it's fine because at the end of the day, you can't have a 1-for-1 of a video game like ever. You have to change things around to make you have to change things around to make it. Someone's dog doesn't agree apparently either. But you have to change things around. I think changing it around enough is fine. I like it enough, the change enough, because it does to an extent make sense. But yeah, it's pretty okay.
Oh, fair enough. I'm sorry, that wasn't a dog. That was me trying to hold in my laughter.
It didn't work very well. I mean, I think you can, I think this is a story that you could take and make a more faithful adaptation of, and I think it would have been better had it been closer to what Silent Hill 1 is.
I don't think it needed to be more faithful to be better. I think they just needed to pick a lane and stick with it. Either be something different or be slavishly devoted to the original.
Yeah, not in the middle.
Yeah. And
that's fair.
Joe, it wasn't at what you were saying. It was, in the end, it all worked out. And my brain immediately went, yes, you're right. In the end, a child still got burned alive, so everything's fine.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That bothered me too. Like, when you see how they burned her and everything, that was like, ugh.
Oh, did you guys clock the nurse that got her eyes burned out?
That's Lisa Garland.
It's supposed to be Lisa Garland, yes, but they never mentioned it.
They put her in the same damn outfit from the freaking game.
Fan service.
Apparently a whole scene that they had, her introducing herself as Lisa Garland, but they cut it.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of cut scenes from this movie. You know how like there's a part where I think it's Rose and Sybil running through town, and all of a sudden they're running into the hotel, and they're seeing what the fuck is her Dahlia being hit with rocks by the Anna character. You were supposed to see. There's a cut scene where Rose and Sybil see one of the characters and chase after them, or I think Anna's bullying. What is it, Dahlia in like the middle of the street, and they run. Anna runs after Dahlia into the hotel, and they run after her. That's why whenever gets to the hotel scene, it's them running in there, and it seems kind of weird that they're doing it. I don't know why they cut a bunch of scenes, maybe for time. I don't know.
The original cut of this movie was 3.5 hours long.
Jesus Christ.
That's a long movie.
Yeah. Now, this was the version that Christoph Gans was happy with, and he's happy with this movie. But the original version was 3.5 hours long, and I want to see it.
I kind of want to see it too.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, I wouldn't mind. Sometimes seeing longer version of movies is kind of nice. I mean, especially when you think about the way that we watch movies today, because we don't watch them, usually in a theater. We watch them streaming. In your comfort of your own home. And I feel like a 3.5 hour movie's fine for, if you're streaming it or watching a DVD or somewhere in your own home where you can okay, I'll take a break now.
That's why I feel like a TV series is almost better than movies.
I watch a Silent Hill TV show.
Yeah.
Only if it's based on Downcoming. I mean, think about it though. Like, Downpour would make a great TV series.
I'd watch it.
I'll watch it, yeah.
Like the other, I think the first Silent Hill game, fine as a movie. Second one, fine as a movie. Third one, maybe a 2-part movie. The Room could have been a series.
Yes.
I could see The Room as a series.
My God.
You have every episode take place with each kill. Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
Oh God, that would be
awesome.
so good.
That game does not get the love it deserves.
It really doesn't.
That game was way better than I expected when you guys got me to play it. So last year.
Agreed.
You know who else doesn't get the love they deserve?
Pyramid Head?
Walter.
It's just trying to think of anything else I want to mention. Like, her going into like the bottom of we haven't talked about it yet. When she goes in, is it whatever building she goes to the bottom, which is the center of evil, when she goes to go meet Dark Alessa and burned Alessa. Like the thing with the nurses, I think that is a cool scene.
Yeah. The usual filmed them walking backwards and then ran the film forward. That's how they moved like that.
I do love like the practical effects and the costumes, and I think that's really good.
I will say that this movie used a minimum of CG, and I was very happy about that.
Yeah.
Even the ripping the skin off was a dummy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, that was all practical.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay. No, they did. I mean, the effects were good. Like, you can tell that they were good effects.
Yeah, like, they did visually, this movie looks great.
Oh, and I just remembered when Tiffany did leave, to answer your question a long time ago. It was when Pyramid Head showed up. It was around that time when she just said fuck it and walked out and went upstairs.
Fair.
That's fair.
She didn't want to see the cheeks.
It was after the beetle or the roach had a face. She's like, I had a face. I'm like, I didn't see. I was busy not paying attention.
Oh, okay. So that was right around the time that Pyramid Head thrust his big sword into the hole in the door and was stabbing it at the women characters. That part.
Yes.
So me and my husband were watching that movie, and he goes, "Man, Marvel movies sure have fucking ruined. Marvel movies sure have ruined like how things are written nowadays, and video games too. With that one game that everyone hated because the dialogue's bad. Forspoken.
Oh yeah,
I remember that. People gave that game a lot of crap.
And my husband made the comment to where you could write that scene as a Joss Whedon scene where like they walk in the room and Rose would go, "I'm not a fan of fans," and then they block the door and like make a sword pun, and then when she shoots Pyramid Head and everything goes away, Sybil will go, "Well, that just happened." And I'm like, I'm really glad this movie was not written in like 2010 because that's exactly what would happen.
Oh, I fucking hate it. But that was also the scene where Sybil is asking Rose to give her the pipe and has to ask a bunch of times because Rose is just like, duh. And, the ending. We gotta talk about the ending.
We should talk about the part before that with the cultists.
Oh, yes.
When she does go down there, she meets Lisa Garland, which is never introduced, and she takes Dark Alessa into her body. And then when she goes, you see God, I forgot her name all of a sudden. The one getting burned alive.
Sybil.
And you have that whole scene. It's then then when Rose comes into play, she has Dark Alessa inside of her, I guess, and they stab her like an idiot. And then guess what? She starts bleeding out, and then the blood is the devil.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
If I had a nickel for every time I did a podcast with you, and both podcasts involved the main character looking up into a crowd of people and yelling about how bad religion is, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's really weird that it's happened twice.
What was the other one?
Assassin's Creed 2.
Oh, we haven't done. Oh, okay, that would have been filmed or recorded at this point. So yes.
Yes. Ezio does that.
Time paradox.
Yeah, time paradox. That happens at the end of Assassin's Creed 2 with Ezio. So
Podcastception.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. I mean, I was thinking about that too. Like they're really bitching about religion in this too.
Well, like when it causes you to burn people, religion ain't great.
I'm not a fan of religion in the first place. So
whatever people like, I'm not a fan, but I guess I get it. I would like to believe in something that gave me strength, and I do. And that's butts and fishnets. I'm just keeping with the horny movie theme,
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
And speaking of horny, let's talk about how Dark Alessa takes out the cultists.
Yeah, you were right. This is horny. Like, I wasn't really thinking about it because it's terrible where barbed wire just comes out of everywhere. But, like, a lot of people are being choked. And then the way that the leader cultist is murdered, like, that is fucking gruesome.
Oh, yeah. Goes right up the middle, straight up the downcoming, and rips her in half.
You know what? I'll give you that one, Ken. That was a good one. Thank you. I appreciate that. I need to use that from now on. Chelsea.
That scene is so fucking gross. Like the way I'm like, I do not like this. I do not like this, Sam. I am.
Chelsea, have you seen any of the Hellraiser movies?
It's been a very, very long time.
Well, Ken, I put it in the group chat. Ken answered, and I know Mike hasn't, which is funny, but that's very much just a goddamn Cenobite. I don't care what anybody fucking says. That is just Alyssa as a goddamn Hellraiser Cenobite.
Yep.
Torturing people.
Yep. Got the chains and everything. And yeah, this is almost Hellraiser levels of horny. Not quite.
Did you guys?
It's close.
I have the movie playing in the background. Did you guys also notice that, like, what the fuck is her goddamn name? The leader lady.
Christabel?
Christabel's just wearing an adult version of, like, the kid's school uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that.
Like the principal or something, right?
She's the principal, and she's the leader of the cult, and she's also Claudia's sister. So it's the big three.
And none of the people in the church have aged.
I didn't realize that until you brought it up in this recording.
Yeah.
I did not catch any of that. I did not pay enough attention to realize that is cool.
They're in purgatory.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't put 2 and 2 together till, now.
Well, they're in something, all right. I'm not going to say they're in a bad movie, but jeez.
That is a fair statement, too, so I will not disagree with that.
Like, IMDb trivia says that the cultist with barbed wire was inspired by Legend of the Overfiend, which...
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, God. Like, okay. I don't like using the word anime pornography, but Legend of the Overfiend is anime pornography.
Okay.
Straight up hentai.
All right.
And if that was inspired by that, some people need Jesus.
Not fishnets and big asses?
Whatever. Everybody needs their something, all right? Something that brings them comfort.
I agree. If that's fishnets and big asses, I have no problem with that.
That's only edited for the podcast.
Right,
so
it's just such a it does make more sense now that you tell me they didn't age and everything.
Yeah, and again, none of that's in the fucking movie.
No, there's no comment. There should have been a comment. I mean, I guess you do see the flashback, but like the detective. Oh, and Joe, you weren't the only person that thought he was in the FBI when Tiff saw this movie. She saw him and she thought he was in the FBI too. So it wasn't just you.
Gucci.
Yeah, his name is Gucci. What the fuck?
Detective Gucci.
I don't know, all that stuff is weird. Like all just the inserts of Sean Bean, here and there, like arguing with the cops and breaking into a place. Like none of that's necessary.
And it makes sense when you're like, okay, the studio mandated that had to be in there.
Yeah, that does make sense.
That could have been cut.
Yeah, But again, without that, you don't have Silent Hill Revelation, which
That's fine.
no.
I've heard a lot of people bitch about that movie. I'm curious to see what I'm going to think when we get to it.
I
Oh,
like that
God.
movie, and I like that movie for bad reasons, and I can't wait to talk about it.
Honestly, I think I like that movie more than I like this movie because that movie at least had the balls to just be like, this is an idea, we're sticking to it.
We're gonna make Vincent 15 years old and put him in a relationship with Cheryl.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
We'll get there.
we'll get there. And Vincent's gonna be the guy from Game of Thrones.
And he still can act.
Hey, you hear his British come out like 3 times in that fucking movie.
Oh, God, it's so bad. But so good, but so bad.
So we leave for the ending where Rose and Alyssa committed a mass murder and just decide to drive home. They wheel the car alive and drive over an imaginary road and get home. And what is it? Sharon looks at the camera like a creepy kid, so you're not really sure what's going on. But whatever happens gets retconned in the next movie, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, I was a little confused. Like, this part still confuses me because, like, they escape Silent Hill, but they're still in the dimension. I'm guessing
Yes,
that's what. Okay, it's a weird ending to me. I don't like it.
it's the very 90s video games thing where it's like we need to have a cliffhanger so people bitch that we make a sequel, which they did. We got a sequel like 10 years later.
Oh,
Was
God.
that long?
I think it's like 2013, isn't it? Someone fact check me.
I could, but I don't want to. I don't care enough to Google it. Oh no, I'm gonna have to look it up. But okay, I remember when Revelations came out, but I didn't give a shit. I didn't see either of these movies until 2019 when I saw the first one. So
2012, so the sequel came out 6 years later. Not bad.
oh, it came out during the 3D phase. I see, because the poster said
Yes.
Silent Hill Revelations 3D.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you're very much gonna see when the movie's supposed to be in 3D.
I don't miss that. I'm glad that phase went away.
I wonder why didn't Christoph direct this one too?
Oh, what?
Christoph Gans. He didn't direct Revelations. I wonder why.
Huh. I thought he did. Weird.
It says
No.
it's directed by MJ Bassett.
That makes a lot more sense as to why this movie's bad. Okay, I'll give it that too.
It's just a weird ending, just to have her show up and then nothing happens, and like, they're in the house, but they're not in the house, and the door's open, and yeah, it's just strange.
Well, I think it's supposed to leave up to interpretation and all that as to what happened. I mean, technically they got home okay, and everything's kind of all right, and
I mean, not really, but
hopefully something cool happens in the sequel, and we'll figure that out later. And then the cool Silent Hill, the song from Silent Hill 3 plays at the ending, so that's whatever.
Still think 3 is my favorite game so far.
Yeah, I like 3 a lot too.
All right, any other things to say about Silent Hill? About the film? Or anything in general? All right, we should go on the shelf stacker box then, I think. All right, and I'll go first. We'll start off with the negative. I'm going to put this in the box. I really didn't enjoy this movie. I was bored watching this movie. I didn't want to watch this movie. I mean, it's fine, but I don't need to see it a third time. Or record about it for a third time. So, it's going in the box and I'm done with this movie. Oh, what about you, Ken? I think I lost Ken.
Uh-oh. Do you want us to wait and you want to text him real quick?
I've been talking and I was muted this entire time.
I didn't mute you. Does that make you feel?
Nope.
What happened?
That was entirely my fault. My dog was running through with clicky clacky claws and I muted so the microphone wouldn't get it. But I wasn't muted for long.
So where would you put this, Ken? Shelf stacker box.
Gosh, I would love to put this higher than the shelf. So I'm going to put it on the ultra shelf because as much as I complained about this movie, I have no shit watched this movie at least 20 times. I keep watching it. I don't like it. I keep watching it. I have a problem.
Agreed.
So if I got to keep to the regular 3, yeah, it's going on the shelf.
Okay. And it's good that you enjoy it, though. There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't know if I do enjoy it, though.
I mean, you watch it that many times, and I mean, there must be something.
There's something, but I don't think I like it. I don't know.
Okay. That's fair. All right, what about you, Chelsea?
So this movie, like, it's like when you're in a relationship with someone and that person does like the bare minimum, but you're still like okay with it, I guess. But then like later on, when you're single, you realize like you're much better off without them. I mean, does that make sense? Like you're happier without them, but at the time, this movie, like it's good enough, right? We think it's really good, but now that we're single, like we're like, no, we don't need this.
I deserve better.
No, that's fair. I mean, that's completely fair.
Oh my god. That might be the funniest thing.
Is this a reference to anything, Chelsea?
It might be a reference to my personal life. I don't know.
At least reference a certain person that I once heard their name and do not remember, nor will I say it. I feel like that's what it's referencing.
Oh my gosh.
All I remember is some guy being upset after you guys broke up and be like, "Hey, you deactivated your Netflix. I can't use it anymore." It's like we've been broken up for months. What the hell?
Oh yeah. No, we won't talk about him. But...
No, but I do. I always remember that.
There's gonna be some guy listening to this podcast because they know Chelsea's on it, and they're gonna be like, "The fuck, bro."
Probably what the guy said to her when she changed her password.
But no, like in all seriousness, like I'm so over live action stuff, like live action adaptations. Like just leave it alone. Like in the beginning, it was exciting, it was fun, you know, and we were actually excited for these things. But I've been burned so many times that I'm just like, please, no more.
Real quick, how do you feel about the new Resident Evil movie, the live action one, The Welcome to Raccoon City?
Oh God! Again, another example of okay, they do just enough, like they do the bare minimum, but you're happier without it.
Beg to differ.
Oh yeah, he's a big fan of that movie.
I fucking love that idiot movie.
I haven't seen it. I saw part of it on an airplane. That was it. I've never actually sat down and watched it yet. So someday. Probably not anytime soon, though. Oh, and Joe, what about you? You have a shelf stacker?
I'm going to go in the opposite direction with this with Chelsea. I'm going to put this on the shelf. I agree with Ken. This is going on the ultra shelf where I watch this movie, but I actually have a good time watching this movie every time. I very much think that we should have, like, if you want to make a video game movie, you should at least attempt to change at least maybe 30% of the movie so it's different. Not so much to where you should. Sometimes changing the villain's a little ridiculous. I think in this is fine. But other than that, like I really enjoy this movie. My partner enjoys this movie. And I also, every once in a while, watch the movie with my cousin who, also very much loves this movie. And it's just a good around time. If I could describe it, it's like making out with someone who's really ugly, but they're a really good kisser.
Oh.
Sure, her eye's lazy and she's got to get her. Sure, their eye is lazy and they've got a gap in their teeth, and they have a little bit of acne, but man, I'm having a really good time making out.
Look, okay, I have never been directly attacked on this show, but god damn it.
Oh,
to be fair, I also say the same thing about Deadly Premonition, so that goes along with that.
Okay. That is a strange ass game, but actually on this podcast too.
I fucking love that game with everything that is in my heart. It's like this movie. I love everything about this movie. Near and dear to my heart.
So I'm the only person that really hated it. All right, okay. I'll take it. Again, you're making me watch horror movies that I don't want to watch. So
that's all right. It's gonna be even more divided when we get to the next one.
Yeah.
And Game of my mom's fond fans, I want to tell you right now, I promise I will not sleep. I will not rest. I will fight to make sure that you get an episode on Silent Hill Revelation.
Oh, we can do it. It just won't be probably Spooktober. I think Spooktober might already be all planned and booked. But I'll do it anyway. Why not? I'm doing all the fucking sound at this point, like all over again this year.
And I tell you,
we'll recover stuff that we wanted.
Games My Mom Found fans, someone go look up what JoJo is and find out what his stand is, because otherwise that joke I'm going to make isn't going to hit.
Aura.
All right.
Thank you, Ken.
I think that about wraps up this episode. We did our first film recover. So there will be others in the future, I'm sure. Not that many, because it's the early stuff. It's the stuff that probably needs to be redone, because we were still learning. I haven't gone back and listened to that first year, but I'm sure it wasn't the best compared to where I'm at now. So I'm sure. And Chelsea, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Twitch, Tired Cheeks, and Twitter, Tired Cheeks.
Keep saying it wrong. It's X. Even the app on my phone says X now, not Twitter.
Yes, the organization where every member has an X. Yes.
Oh, so fucking stupid. I hate Twitter. I hate it with passion. I hate X. All right, and if you enjoyed this episode, there are over 500 other episodes of this podcast. All the Silent Hill stuff we've done a bunch of it now, actually, way more than I ever expected. So you will see a link in the show notes to this episode of all the Silent Hill stuff. You can go on the Podbean website, type in anything, type in Resident Evil, type in Silent Hill, type in Scott Pilgrim. You will find an episode. So everything, it searches really nice. So just go on there and you can look up the stuff that we've done. There will be a lot more spooky stuff coming because we got almost 2 months of spooky content, unfortunately, for my sanity. That will be coming on this podcast. So stay tuned for all that. And if you want to support the show, we do a Patreon for a little $1. You can vote in our Patreon poll. You'll see a link in the show notes. There'll be a spooky poll at the time that you're hearing this. So go vote. And also, we have a Discord. Please join our Discord. I have a current link. If you were someone that tried the link before, it didn't work. Someone told me to fix it. So now it should be a good link in all the show notes when you look at it for all the newer stuff. Definitely go check that out. I want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Fear. You can follow her on TikTok. And I want to give a shout out to my awesome, my buddy Bill Tucker did the MCU movies with me. Started his own podcast, A Gamer Looks at 40. Definitely go check him out there also. And I think that's everything I need to say. So, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and I'm on Threads now too. You can follow me on Threads too if you want. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Stay horny, my friends.